Hello and welcome back to the channel. On this installment, I'm going to come down to one of the final steps in getting the disc brake conversion completed. I have the other side of the car done already. I'm over to this side because there's a lot more room over here to video the assembly. So let's get into it. If there was an established procedure for all this, I haven't read it, but this is just the way I've done it over the years, and it's always worked for me. So I'm going to put the top in first. And so now we're going to get the spring put in. And a floor jack here to jack this up into in position. Okay, I got the coil and the jack ready to go. Start bringing the bottom A-arm up. I have to use a little persuasion to get it into the bottom pocket. It popped right into the bottom pocket there. So everything's looking good, just like it did before on the other side. So I'm going to swing the spindle around here, get this ready to guide into the hole here for the bottom. Jacking it up. See, we're through. I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on. Snug it up. Let's see if we can. A little more. Well, actually, let's see here. I'll do the top the same way and get back to the next step. Okay, I jumped the gun a bit and put some grease on the spindle a little bit before I was ready. Because the bracket, there's some stuff that goes on before, obviously, the brake disc. So there's a bracket for the brake caliper. Goes on like so, and then a dust shield. And a big nut at the top holds it all together. Okay, and then a steering arm for the spindle. It's held on with newly supplied grade 8 bolts in the kit. And goes on like so. Get a closer look here. There's 2 locking nuts that are supplied to go on as well. get those cinched down and get to the next step. At this point, we could install the shock since the brake caliper isn't in the way. So that's what I'm going to do. The shock will cooperate. Of course, get this started. Okay, so now we got the shock on. I believe the next component is actually the disc. So we're almost there. There we go. We can adjust that. So the dust shield's rubbing on the disc a little bit. We'll get it tightened down and we'll flex that out of the way so it's not interfering with the travel. Now, of course, you want to preload your bearing. So you want to snug it up pretty good. It still turns, but this is the way I've always done it too. Pretty much stop turning right there. Rotate this a few times and back this off. Man, oh man. I chipped the paint on my car a little bit more. So you don't want to back this off. See, there's some play right there. That's to no resistance. There's no play. I don't know what the interval is, but I'm going to back this off. Okay, you can hear the play. That's pretty much right there where it stops. I'm going to turn it right to the first hole. Put the cotter key in. There's no play. And that's how I'm going to set it. Okay. Bend this around. Clip this bottom part and bend it in. And I gotta get a clippers. There we go. Bend that back in the other way. Here we go. Put the dust cap on. Now these aren't the ones supplied in the kit. I can tell you that the new ones that are supplied in the kit, just as a test before I even did any of this, I attempted to put the dust cap on and it would not go on for nothing. So luckily I kept the old ones and they work just fine. So now we got there. Now I'm going to put the brake caliper on. Now I found that on the other side, these 2 points right here were too close together, not cut correctly, who knows. Let's see how these fit. I had to bend one out with a pair of vice grips, which I thought I had handy, but I do not. Hopefully we won't need to do that on this side. Oh boy, that is really close. I think I might want to flex one of those out just a little bit. I could probably use a dead blow and get it in there, but you really don't want to do that because when you go to, when it's time to change the pads, you're going to be struggling and get the damn caliper out of there all the time. So just flex that valve, move that back a little bit. There we go. See how it works now. There it is. There we go. Okay. And there's 2 Allen type caliper bolts for it. All right, it's a done deal for that. Starting to look like a brake system. Alright, so now let's bend this back a little bit. Keep that from riding up against the disc here. There we go. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, looks good. All the way around, going down to the bottom, plenty of room. Okay, so now we got a flex hose to put on. I'm going with the stock one because it appears to be working well. I tried it out on the other side and I was pleased the way it fit. So I'm not going to modify anything unnecessarily. So it'll say in the instructions, but what you want to do is you can see this is machined offset. And you want this side right here towards the brake caliper, because that's going to like raise the hose away from the connection point. So now we got that loosely connected. We're going to move over to this point right here. See how this all rotates out. Put the hard line on. I think I'm going to bend this a little bit, like so. I'm having some problems here. Just like that. There we go. And we'll knock the clock. Knock the clip in. That is it. Okay. This is all relaxed and nothing's twisted up. So I think 5/8 goes here. Tighten up this brake line right here. There we go. We'll give it one more test turn here. We'll call that one a done deal. Yep. Oh yeah, that's tight. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Okay. So there you have it. Barring any other modifications, this is it. That's what it looks like complete. Come off the stand here for a second. So I'm going to be checking these connections down here as well. Just starting right from where I'm at, because this is the video part I made the YouTube video about, and just backtracking, of course, to every connection. And this is pretty much it. This completes it as far as the plumbing is concerned, except for putting on the vacuum chamber and the master cylinder, which I think were all together at some point in another previous installment when I formed these brake lines right here. So what is next? Well, there's a host of things I'd like to get done next, like putting a steering column back in. But before I'd like to do that, I'd like to get into the dash area here and organize this wiring a little bit better before I go doing that. And before the dash goes in, up here, the speakers used to be for a previous stereo installment, but I took that out, and I still got them, but I'm going to put an 8-track player in here as well. And I have the 2 smaller speakers that are going to go back up there. I'm going to actually make a bracket off of this aluminum one right here, hopefully, instead of like just screwing them in through the vent holes here. That'll be better. And I'll have 2 small speakers here and 2 6-inch ones in the back. That'll be like a separate stereo system. So that's got to get done before I put the steering column in. And then the intermediate shaft, and then the new steering box will go in. But before that, I think I'm going to put in the new fuel pump, because the steering box is going to be out of the way. It's going to make it easier to work on to do that. And this is also a rat's nest up here. I don't like this. So there is a host of things to do. So it's a never-ending project. Of course, this is for me, the fun and the passion of, getting this car back on the road and looking halfway decent when I go to show it. So that's it right there. I think the next video you see, I'm going to be putting the new fuel pump on, plumbing the line, new carburetor. I got AN fittings for that. It's going to be an upgrade for sure from the previous hose and screw clamp affair that was on there before. If you stayed to the end of the video, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Please like and subscribe and share. Occasionally, but not often, I update myself on Facebook. And see you all in the next video. Be cool.